This weekend, the latest film in the Predator franchise opened in theaters. We'll have time to rank all 9 Predator movies, from the worst to the best. In last place is Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, the franchise's darkest hour, literally, because the film is shot so dark you can't see what's happening 98% of the time, even with the brightness on my screen turned all the way up. The movie actually doubles down on the problems of Alien vs. Predator by being even more boring and not really delivering on the premise of the premise. The characters are thin, the tone is grim without being suspenseful, and the violence feels mean-spirited rather than thrilling. It tries to return to the franchise's horror roots, but ends up as a muddled disaster that buries both the Alien and Predator legacies in the dark. Number 8, Predator 2. This urban sequel swaps the jungle for the concrete jungle of Los Angeles. Danny Glover steps in as a straight-hardened cop, going head-to-head with the Predator amid a gang war and heatwave. The concept is intriguing, a predator loose in a city, and the film adds a few cool bits of lore, including the creature's trophy collection, which also has a xenomorph skull. But, totally, it's all over the place. It's violent, cartoonish, and more chaotic than it is cohesive. It has its fun moments, but it also feels like trying to recapture lightning in a bottle. Number 7, The Predator from 2018. Hoo boy. Hoo boy. You know those parody videos where someone will take a movie and change the genre, like, what if Elf was a horror movie? That's what this feels like. What if Predator was a comedy? Having Keegan-Michael Key make this feel like a Long Key Peele sketch, the jokes aren't funny, they're just crass. The tone feels more like the Suicide Squad, and the premise is so contrived. A child gets a Predator mask in the mail, and that's what kicks off the events. I don't know how they read the script and decided it was good enough to spend money to make. Number 6, Alien vs. Predator. Given that this is the same director as the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, this should have been more fun than it was. But instead, we get a movie chock full of pacing issues. When the Alien and Predator do fight, it's fun, but unfortunately we have to spend way too much time with boring human characters. They should have just set the movie in space and had them fight there, having no humans in the film. Number 5, Predators. This entry felt like a genuine return to form. A group of dangerous killers are dropped onto an alien planet as prey for a pack of upgraded predators. The simple story and relentless pacing make it a worthy spiritual successor to the original. However, it is so much like the original, practically being a remake, that it doesn't really have its own identity. Number 4, Prey. A great reinvention of the franchise's formula, taking us back to the 18th century, following a young Comanche warrior determined to prove her worth by facing the ultimate predator. The film's minimalist approach of sparse dialogue, beautiful natural cinematography, and tight character focus helps it stand out. It's great having it be in a new setting and time period, but again, it is too derivative of the first one. How many times do we need to see the last survivor trick the predator by saying, kill me, I'm right here, kill me? The exact same events every time? Really? It's unique, but the third act could have used a bit more originality. Number 3, Killer of Killers. This is where the franchise starts to get really fun, by letting the filmmakers play in various sandboxes. By making the film an anthology following a World War II pilot, a Viking warrior, and a ninja in feudal Japan, they give the franchise some more great world building. It's a fun anthology with some fun stories, but the way they connect them all in the third act seems a bit shoehorned in, and again, it's just a repeat of the third act of the first one. Number 2, Badlands. This is a unique entry into the franchise, because not only is it the first standalone Predator movie to be PG-13, it's also the first standalone Predator movie that does not take place on Earth. As much as I like the other Predator movies, like I've said, they all kind of feel the same. Same story beats, same third act. This one completely throws that out the window and takes the franchise in a new direction. A direction that I thought worked, but I can tell is going to be very divisive for long-term fans of the franchise. I know a lot of people are going to be turned away by the Predator being the protagonist in this movie, because when you think Predator, you think ruthless hunter that you root against, and here they make him a more sympathetic, emotional character. Again, I thought it worked, but I completely understand if that irks somebody. The main non-alien character, played by Elle Fanning, is a delightful character. She's like Ripley from the Alien movies if Ripley had a sense of humor. She's infectiously optimistic, while the Predator is pessimistic, and it works well. It provides some well-done humor. The humor in the movie is well-timed and works, as opposed to the 2018 Predator movie, where the humor was forced and lowbrow. However, I thought the setup as fresh to the franchise as it wasn't totally original either. Of course, the main character is the misfit outcast needing to prove himself. Of course, there's a MacGuffin he needs to find to restore his honor. Of course, there's an enemies to friends art. It's familiar, but it also works. Now, does the controversial PG-13 rating hurt the movie? I didn't think so. I didn't watch this movie and think, I wish this movie were more violent and brutal. In fact, I think compared to a lot of other PG-13 movies, it's pretty tame. I've talked many times about how I found Doctor Strange 2 a little bit too violent, specifically the scene where Wanda murders a bunch of superheroes in excessively graphically violent ways, and how that really put me off the movie. This has just the right amount. The blood in the movie is alien blood. I'd say the violence level is about the same as Alita or The Mandalorian. It's a movie very much aimed at the teenage crowd, but I think it's also accessible enough for longtime fans of the franchise who are willing to look past the PG-13 rating and give it a chance. There's only one curse word in the entire movie, and it's a tame one, which again is more than I can say of a lot of comic book movies over the last 10 years, even the ones that are PG-13. The action is well done, the story feels fresh to the world of these movies, and the characters well written. I'd recommend watching the first Predator movie and the first two Alien movies. They're not required viewing, but you'll definitely get more out of this when certain callbacks happen. They're quick enough that you won't be confused if this is your first movie of the universe, but you'll get a grin on your face if you do understand. And in first place is Predator. The original remains untouchable. It's a perfect blend of action, horror, and suspense. A film that starts as a macho commando mission and gradually transforms into a primal nightmare. Arnold Schwarzenegger faces off against a creature that's as intelligent as it is deadly, and the tension builds with perfect precision. The reveal of the creature design, the score, and the film's relentless pacing make it an all-time classic. It's not just the best Predator movie, it's one of the best sci-fi action films ever made, and it comes in at number 1. Couldn't share with you on the Predator movies, or at least the ones you've seen, but I'll see you next time, and come back later this week for my Alien ranking.